So the exercise we just did is called Scaffolding Creativity, and it's a way to help get people past the fear of making art, the fear of a blank page, the fear of not having skills that they feel they might need in order to make art. And we start with identifying shapes and colors and textures, which are artistic elements in a magazine, and then we tear those pieces and make them into something else. We transform them by looking at them in an abstract way and making them into a representational object. From there, we then go again to transform that object again or make a new artwork that allows people to practice those skills of looking at materials in a new way and transforming them to represent an idea that is a creative prompt for them. Afterwards, we might use that collage piece that they've made as a catalyst for science exploration or writing or social emotional learning. It has a lot of ways you can build depth into it.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're just going to pass out some National Geographics. Everyone grab one. Doesn't matter which one. And what you're going to do... Let's see. Are there any extras?
Yep, there's two here.
Does anyone need one over here? Okay. Extra here. Everyone have one?
Okay.
All right. So what you're going to do is, first thing you're going to do is turn your magazine upside down. Just turn upside down like this, so that the writing is upside down. So that the writing is upside down.
Yep.
All right? And then what I want you to do is just open it and find something yellow and share it with your colleagues. And just keep flipping through it. Find something yellow and then just point it out. Point it out to your colleagues at your table. Something yellow. And then keep finding yellow things for a second. And when you get to the last yellow thing, just rip it out of the magazine and put it in the center of the table.
Wait, keep flipping?
You can keep flipping and find something else that's yellow, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the last thing that you find that's yellow, just rip it out and put it in the center of the table. Next thing, find something with texture. Just find something with texture. And point to it to your colleagues and just keep flipping. So find something with texture, move on to the next thing. Texture, texture, texture. And then after you've pointed a couple of things out, just rip one out and put it in the middle of the table. Next. Point out something with polka dots. This is a great one actually for polka dots. Just point out polka dots. Polka dots, polka dots, polka dots. Just point them out. Yeah, perfect. So just try, don't focus on the text, just find something that represents polka dots. Polka dots. Yes, rip it out. That's also texture. Great. Next one. Find something that shows movement or fluid movement. Not necessarily water, but something that shows fluid movement. Just find something that shows fluid movement.
Yep.
So like this, like look like a waterfall, right? Look at that hair.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, I got it.
So anything that can show fluid movement. It doesn't necessarily have to be water, but just something that shows fluid movement. All right. What I want you to do at your table, is organize your images of fluid movement so that they create one crazy line across your table. So organize them in some way so that they're all connected to each other.
Wait, all of them are
Just the movement ones, just the fluid movement ones. So you can set the other ones to the side, but organize your fluid movement ones as a team so that it shows, so that they're all connected. So that they're all connected in some way, shape, or form. And you can move the arrangement around.
This one's kind of like these are related.
So you could even do something where, see, like the tail matches up with this white line right here.
Oh,
see what I'm saying?
finding something that matches.
Exactly.
Kind of like a puzzle.
So that the movement all connects.
And just keep the essential parts if you want.
So great. So see if you can figure out a way to make them into one continuous movement line. So maybe that flows into that.
okay.
This flows into that. All right, so let's take a break. Let's just pause for a second. Okay. So why do you think we turn the magazine upside down? So you don't read it. So you don't focus on the text, right? So you don't focus on the image. I think a lot of times young people, when you give them a magazine such as this, they're going to start focusing on the language. What is in here, right? Turning it upside down also makes the images a little bit more abstract, right? All right, so this is what we're going to have you do next. You have now in front of you a collection of images. As a team, you're going to sort them according to the categories that I gave you. So yellow, texture, movement, polka dots, right? So just organize them into the 4 different groups as a team.
Are your textures? Okay.
We all agree? Did we all remember?
This is texture or yellow? Polka dots. Yellow.
So this is where you guys can pull out a fresh page of your journal. And this is what we're going to ask you to do. What you guys just did is that you just sorted your own supplies. You created a pile of supplies and materials for your art project, and you sorted it and organized it together, right? So you can share these materials that are now on your table. But you have 2 options. Using the materials, and any materials, if you want to rip out more materials from the magazine, you can. You can either create a sun or a tree, right? And see if, actually, let's just have them tear it. I'm not gonna let you use scissors, because I'm gonna be a jerk. So just tearing the materials create either a sun or a tree. Think about the textures, don't try to be literal. Are there things that are not leaves that are green in your magazines that you could use to make the tree? Is there things that are brown in your magazines that are not trees that you could use to make the trunks, right? So we're gonna give you maybe about a little bit over 5 minutes. And you pick a tree or a sun and go.
This is my tree that I created from the National Geographic magazine.
Put it just in front of you on your desk, and you can get up and look at everyone else's collages. See what you observe. What do you notice? And if you need a few seconds, you can keyboard me.
All right, as you come back to your seats, if you will, you can just popcorn out. What did you notice when you were looking at other people's work? What did you notice?
People did different trees.
Different trees, okay, what else?
Different hues?
Sorry, different hues?
Correct.
Okay, continue.
More creative than me.
Oh,
Creative in a different way.
creative,
I love that. Creative in a different way.
yeah. What else?
Different uses of space versus fill.
So you're thinking about the foreground and background maybe, or
Negative
positive and negative space?
Or how, proportion of the collage, right? So some people were very contained, some people were kind of all over.
What else? I'm paraphrasing now.
Some were more realistic, where others were more like a drawing. Do you get
Versus
So-
abstract.
Abstract or real? What else?
Intricate.
Intricate?
Intricacy would be varied.
What else?
Some people like bigger pieces and some people like smaller.
Oh, different size. What else?
Mixing of nature and civilization.
So representing a natural idea or object, but with more technological kind of pieces, perhaps.
Yeah, we have the Transamerica building as a
Yeah.
tree, right? The trunk of a tree.
Nature. Ah. Okay, great.
I love this activity, and this is me telling you what I want you to glean from this. But I love this activity because you start looking at images for abstract concepts, colors, shapes, patterns, And I think what can happen sometimes when we do collage with students is that they start looking for the perfect car, or they start looking for the perfect, I don't know, a face or person that's going to be just the right size for their perfect collage. But with this, it's like, no, make a car out of something that's not a car. Make a tree out of something that's not a tree, right? Use the materials flexibly so that you can create something that's original. Yes?
Do any two of these look alike?
No. All right, so next, you're going to find a new page in your journal to work in.
I don't have teeth yet.
We're going to ask you your next task, if you will accept it, is to create a creature with an exaggerated feature. The creature should have some means of movement, something that allows it to move. And again, think about, it's a creature, but it doesn't have to be made out of creature parts. All right, so one creature with an exaggerated feature, it should be able to move in some way, shape, or form.
Maybe it has giant feet.
So I'm not saying that your piece of art has to move,
Right.
but the creature should have
creature.
a means of movement if it were a real creature. Does that make sense?
Does it swim?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll give you a little bit longer. And you can use the materials that are on the table. You can find new materials in your magazine, right?
Its means of locomotion does not have to be the exaggerated part.
So next step in this project that we're doing, this 1 hour project that we're doing, for your creature, we want you to come up with the following. What's its name? Where does it live? What does it eat? What does it fear? If you see one, you should. And then, what is its secret wish?
You can use this as a catalyst for more scientific investigation. You could say, what is its name? What is its species, its genus, its phylum? Where does it live? What's its habitat? What things might I find in the ecosystem where it exists? What does it eat? Why? What part of the food chain is it? Is it a predator? Is it prey? That's part of the what does it fear, maybe? And you know, the secret wish, you will find some interesting, personally revealing responses, I think, from your children when you ask, what is the secret wish of this creature? This also can be used as a prompt for story writing. Now its name is Fred, and it lives at 112 B Street, and it eats popsicles, and it doesn't have to be a scientifically accurate kind of a place to start, but it can be a creative and imaginative place to start.
So you could have the characters meet each other. Then you have to determine what is the conflict between the two of them, right? And then also, you can have the students do a writing assignment that is all about a character that they created themselves. They have ownership over that experience or over that process.
Or they could write through the voice of it.
Or they can write through the voice, exactly.
And what is the conflict? How did they resolve it? What were they feeling? You could put a lot of social emotional learning in here also, I think. Potential is endless, so if you're thinking, how can I use this?
All right.
We can find lots of ways.
Then going back to the studio habits of mind, did we envision doing this activity? Did we stretch and explore? Did we engage and persist? Right? We observed, right? We're pointing at things. Did we develop craft?
Practice your tearing.
You learned a new way to tear. Reflection we can do in a moment. You expressed. There's an understanding of the art world and that we're exploring collage, right? So let's reflect. Any thoughts on this scaffolded creative process activity?